The spark of arrogance it began, as such stories always do, with arrogance. On the outer rim of the Perseus arm, the Velthari Dominion made its move. Known for their insectoid swarms and merciless logic, the Velthari viewed a small human colony on Vera 9 as nothing more than a test subject. They did not announce themselves. No diplomacy, no warning. Their fleets fell upon the colony like a black tide, wings blotting out the system's sun. Civilians were dragged screaming into atmosphere-breached halls. Executions were broadcast across the stars, not as strategy, but as mockery. The Velthari Chancellor hissed into the galactic comnet. So fragile, so slow. These humans claim to be predators, yet see how easily their bones snap. The galaxy listened, some in silence, some in approval. Humanity's allies grieved. Humanity itself watched and remembered. The galaxy's laughter. In the grand halls of alien parliaments, the attack was treated as inevitable. Humanity, it was said, had risen too quickly. A death-world species clawing its way into the stars was bound to be humbled. The Velthari feasted on the screams. Other empires whispered that Earth was civilized now, too diplomatic to respond in kind, too cautious to unleash the primal fury that had once let them burn their own continents. And so the galaxy laughed. They saw no armies mobilizing, no fleets stirring, only silence. The silence, however, was not weakness. It was prelude, the quiet pact far from the cameras of the Dominion, far from the chatter of senators and merchants. A meeting took place in the ash fields of a dead moon. There, humanity stood with the only species the galaxy feared more than themselves. The Draxian clans, scaled juggernauts forged in volcanic crucibles. For centuries, humans and Draxians had been rivals, locked in wars that shook entire sectors. Their battles were legends whispered to cadets. Their duels left stars littered with wreckage. But when the Velthari slaughtered Vera 9, something ancient stirred in both species. Rivalry turned to recognition. Predator looked at predator and saw kin. A single oath was spoken, broadcast only to the void. Strike one of us, and you awaken us both. The pact was sealed not in ink, but in blood. Humanity and the Draxians became one fist, one blade. The galaxy did not yet know, but it would. The silence shatters for a month, nothing happened. The Velthari spread further, believing their campaign unopposed. They paraded enslaved humans through the streets of their capital hives. Their scholars dissected human corpses live on stream, declaring the species primitive material. Then, silence broke. It began with the sudden darkening of 7 stars. Human dreadnoughts, each the size of a continent, emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, hulls gleaming obsidian. From the other vector, the Draxian war clans arrived, ships shaped like jagged blades, engines burning volcanic red. The two fleets, once enemies, moved as if choreographed. Earth's banners and Draxian war sigils lit the void together. Across the galaxy, comms carried one chilling broadcast. The pact has awakened. Prepare yourselves. Panic swept the stars. The wrath unleashed. The Velthari laughed no longer. Their first fleet, 10,000 strong, faced the united armada at Tarnus Rift. They believed sheer numbers would hold. It was not a battle. It was annihilation. Human dreadnoughts opened fire with rail cannons so vast they punched through planets, cracking their crusts in seconds. Draxian warships plunged into the swarm like flaming swords, ramming, boarding, tearing ships apart with savage joy. Entire Velthari formations vanished in blinding flashes. Their war songs, once shrieks of dominance, became static screams drowned beneath thunder. The galaxy watched as suns themselves seemed to vanish beneath the shadow of fleets so vast, their formations turned night into eternal eclipse. At the front line, humanity spoke no threats. They simply advanced, and every advance left silence behind. The burning of worlds, the Dominion tried to regroup. They fortified Hiveworld Kezar, their jewel, their fortress, a planet covered in living metal and unending spires. Human marines fell from orbit like meteors, armored giants descending in stormfire. Draxian shock troops followed, roaring through flame and ash. Together they fought not as allies, but as extensions of the same predator's instinct. One cleared the skies, the other claimed the ground. The Velthari queen herself tried to rally her people. Her broadcast was cut short as a human blade, and a Draxian claw ended her reign in the same heartbeat. By dawn, Khazar was ash. The panic spreads. Whispers turn to screams across alien empires. If humans and Draxians had set aside hatred, what power in the galaxy could resist? Merchants fled trade routes. Militaries abandoned border posts. Even the ancient empires, those who had once seen themselves as arbiters of galactic law, now trembled. One alien ambassador was overheard. It is not war. It is plague. They are not armies. They are storms. Every fallen star system became a warning. Every silenced world, a sermon. Retribution. Without mercy for months the campaign burned. Velthari strongholds fell one after another. Entire sectors emptied. The pact was not conquest, it was punishment. Humanity and Draxians did not colonize the ruins. They left them smoldering, abandoned. Reminders to all who would dare repeat the mistake. Galactic historians later wrote of the fleets in hushed tones. Humans brought silence. Draxians brought fire. Together, they brought the end. Aftermath of silence. When it was finished, the Dominion no longer existed. The proud insectoid empire was dust, its name a curse. In the great councils of the galaxy, no one dared to speak against Earth again. Not because they were alone terrifying, but because they had shown they could unite with the one species equally feared. Survivors whispered in every language, "Never provoke Earth again." The galaxy finally understood. Humanity's patience was vast. Their silence